Today, I'm recreating Sonic Racing CrossWorlds by building LEGO cars for Sonic and his friends, and I'll be crash testing all of them. Let's get started. To start, I grabbed a Speed Champion set. This is actually my first one ever. I tossed it together, but I won't be adding the stickers because I want to transform the blue one into Sonic the Hedgehog's car. I'll slide the orange one out of the way for now. First, let's grab a Sonic minifigure and some black and red wheels from a different LEGO set, and we'll swap them out. There's also a ton of extra stuff that we don't need, so let's rip all that off. I need to rework the cockpit to fit Sonic, and I'll add a windshield piece so he can feel the wind on his quills. The set came with these neat blue slope pieces, and I'll stick two together to create a quill-like shape, and I'll place those on the back. I'll add plenty more elements for shaping, and now I'm done. This thing goes so hard. We're off to a great start. I'll be ranking each car as we go. I'll give this one 5 out of 5 stars. Moving outside, I've set up a very professional course to test the car's structural integrity. Let's send it down. Oh, Sonic literally spin dashed his way out. That's so funny. Don't worry, a quick pit stop will fix it good as new, but I need a racetrack to display Sonic's car. I grabbed 3 base plates and began placing a pattern of Green Hill Zone terrain. At this point, I have 4 copies of the Sonic Ideas LEGO set, so there's plenty of these plates to go around. I placed 2 identical wall segments that I can lay on their side to create the raceway floor. Next, I added a starting line made from black and white tiles. I placed 2 black beams to hold up a starting sign that's built from red tiles, and then added some plant life by using dark green stem elements and sliding leaves onto the branches. I repeated the process several more times and added Sonic's car. This looks great, but Sonic's basically a shoo-in for the W, considering he's the only one here. We desperately need more LEGO cars for Sonic and his friends to make this more of a challenge for him. Let's start with his best buddy, Tails. First, I grabbed a base and clicked 4 wheels on. I added some elements to cover up the wheels and plenty of slopes. I'm doing my best to recreate some of the key elements in my design, and the cockpit ended up being a very strange shape to allow Tails to sit inside. Love this element, but geez, it's inconvenient. Flipping it around, I'll put bracket elements to allow me to clean up the back. And for a final touch, I'll top it off with a spoiler build. That's car 2 of 10 completed. I'm satisfied with how it turned out. This one was more daunting only because of its shape, but we got there in the end. 3 out of 5 stars. Let's go ahead and crash it. A quick jump cut later, and I can add Tails to our racetrack. Let's build a car for Knuckles next. First, I grabbed this LEGO set with 2 different Mercedes branded cars and ripped into a box in a very sane way. I tossed them together. I'll again remind you, I'm not using the stickers, but this one does look a lot like Mickey Mouse. Am I crazy? For now, I only need the wheels of this car. I grabbed a base to work off of and slotted all 4 wheels into place. Next, I put together some red builds to cover the wheels. In the reference material, you can see spikes coming out of these, so I snagged some claw elements and this rounded 1x2 plate. I built out the front and expanded the sides, so I have space for the driver's seat. Turning the build around, I added some thrusters and this neat red hood element. After a few more final additions, I can slot Knuckles inside. I'm happy with how car 3 turned out. I was a Knuckles main back in the day of Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Does that age me? Probably. 4 out of 5 stars, but now I have to crash test my hard work. Okay, I'll admit that one was lackluster. I'm already questioning if I'll have enough space for all of these cars, but let's continue with the video. If you're enjoying the video, be sure to subscribe and let me know what car you think is winning this race. Before I design another car, let's look at Legos. This is Team Sonic's command truck, which retails for $69.99. Nice. While it's technically canon thanks to Tails Tube, that won't stop me from poking fun at it. Why in the world does Sonic need an RV camper? This just makes me realize how disconnected the LEGO theme is from the Sonic lore. That's okay, I know I'm not the target audience and I can just design my own Sonic builds. Since Metal Sonic appeared in this set, let's build a car for him next. I'm starting with a base like Sonic's. First, I placed a steering wheel and some seat cushions for the cockpit. Next, I placed brackets on the side to get some shaping, and then added blue mudguards around the wheels. To recreate the shape that I had in Sonic's car, I used a bunch of blue slopes, but I made a few tweaks to make it feel more robotic. Finally, I added some rear view mirrors, windshields, and the inferior metal copy. This one turned out sick. I'm pleased with how similar it feels to the fleshy blue version, while still maintaining its own identity and shape. I'll rate it 4 out of 5 stars and take it outside to crash it. Despite not taking that much damage, pieces flew everywhere. Look how far they went. I'm sure you're wondering where Amy's car is. Well, I'm not doing one for her. Partially because her skirt makes it impossible to have her sit, but mostly because I didn't include her in the mech video, and I think it would be really funny if I just continued to exclude her purely for the bit. Let's instead build a car for a far cooler character, one that can sit down, Silver. I'll grab this Lego Bugatti and toss it together. Now I can use it as a springboard for car 5. First thing I'll do is remove all the printed stuff and extra modifications that we won't need. I'll replace the wheels with some black ones and remove the cockpit Lego included. As neat as it is, it's designed for 2 normal-sized minifigures, not one time-traveling hedgehog. I slotted in a new cockpit and replaced the front build so it has an accent of blue like the reference material. Next, I added a windshield, built up the walls of the car, and polished up the back. I'll slide in blue tiles and a hood to cover up the gaps that those left, and I placed some more slopes and angles to call back to the design of Sonic's car. Everyone is always trying to copy this icon. All we need now is a knockoff silver minifigure, and I'm done with car 5. I love the color palette of this one. I strayed so far away from the reference material, but I think the final product is strong. 4 out of 5 stars. Let's crash it. There's one more hedgehog we have to build a car for, the emo one. Here's the base I have. It has a ton of connection points thanks to Lego's orange car. I clicked in 4 wheels and placed some mud guards. Next I added more slope bits and built out the sides. And I grabbed a steering wheel, seat cushions, and a windshield to finish up the cockpit, and added some more final touches. And shadow. I'm happy with how this one turned out. It really feels like an edgier version of Sonic's car, which is exactly what I wanted. 5 out of 5 stars. Too bad I have to crash it. At least this was the best crash so far. Sonic Racing CrossWorlds is pulling no punches when it comes to crossover characters, so let's add a few of them to the race. First up is SpongeBob SquarePants. I grabbed a 4x8 tan plate to build the bottom bun from, adding wheels and a license plate. For a layer of meat, I'm using dark brown slopes and connecting them via bricks with studs on their side. I gathered a bunch of modified yellow and green plates to create thin layers of lettuce and cheese, but I'm leaving a gap in the center to place the cockpit. I clicked a flag on, 2 headlights, and a windshield. A little build I'm proud of is the spoiler on the back. It's attached to the car by using these angled elements in dark red. With that, we can slot in Mr. Bob. Car number 7 turned out cool. I enjoyed revisiting my paddy wagon design, but giving it proportions more akin to Sonic and everyone else's car. I'll rate it 4 out of 5 stars. Time to crash it. Going back to that Mercedes set from earlier, I'm going to take the yellow car but replace all of the yellow elements with red ones to recreate Pac-Man's car. I'm leaving plenty of space in the cockpit for the brick-built fruit muncher. Next, I placed red mudguards and added red slopes and such where the set had yellow ones. The back half of the car is almost an exact copy, but the front ended up pretty different. I gave it much larger headlights and a hood element. I placed more slopes on the side and added a few more details. Now we just need the Pac-Man himself. I started with a 1x1 modified brick and attached yellow pipes to the 2 opposing studs. For his hands, I'll use 1x1 orange plates, and then his feet are built from yellow pipes. I placed 3x3 plates with rounded tiles on both sides. Using a variety of slope tiles, I can give him a face, and now he's done. So let's crash this car. Pac-Man frickin' died, but his car is completely fine. They're adding Steve to this game, and he's cruising around in a minecart. Lego has released a design for a minecart, so I put it together and gave it some racing wheels. Now we can add it to the display. Actually, this feels unfair. I need to give him bigger wheels. No, even bigger. Bigger! Okay, that's good. I give this one 5 out of 5 stars. We just need to crash it. Well, the rubber wheels did their job a bit too well. That means less damage. You know, this car reminds me of Dr. Eggman's. For car number 10, we can build his. I grabbed 4 huge wheels and added hubcaps to each one. I put together a circular red base and attached the wheels using Technic beams. Next, I grabbed a few Brickhead's bricks and built out the egg pod for Eggman to pilot from. For some extra detail, I'll attach exhaust pipes via clip elements and a windshield. After adding Dr. Egghead himself, I'm done. Most of the cars that we built today appear slightly street legal, but that is not the case here. This would get pulled over immediately. And for that, I'll have to give it 2 out of 5 stars. Let's crash this sucker. Same problem that was present with Steve's. These wheels are just too rubbery, but it is funny watching this one bounce away. And with that, we have finished all 10 cars, and here is the final racetrack build with all of them placed down. So the question on my mind is, who would win this race? Let me know in the comments section. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Keep on inspiring. Bye!